Look at it. Flowers in the attic. This cover is really just so eerie and gothic. This book, I guess because it's been published in 1979, the dialogue is a bit theatrical in a way. I guess that's with the spirit of the times back then. And I just really got on here because I want to read to you this quote. There are some mothers you just can't love, for they don't want you to love them. And if that's not disturbing, I don't know what is. So here's what happened, okay? Their dad got into an accident. It turns out that their house and all the things inside their house is not really theirs. Not yet, anyway. They're still paying for it. And because they don't have a breadwinner anymore, their stuff is going to get repossessed. And their mother, what she did was she wrote letters to their grandmother. And apparently, she begged their grandma to take them so that they can stay with them. And she's saying that actually, my family, my parents, my dad is stinking rich, like sinfully rich. That's the word that she used, and so when we get there, children, we're gonna have you're gonna get everything that you need and want. We're gonna go there, and so the kids were like, okay, we don't want to go because our friends are here, but okay, we'll go anyway. We get to the house. They are in the attic now. And the plan is to keep them hidden from the grandfather. So only the grandmother knows that they are there. And why are they being kept hidden from the grandfather? It's because the mother said that the reason why she got kicked out of her house before was because I'm guessing she got pregnant. Okay, so she did something bad. That's what it's saying. She has fallen from grace, and so her father was so angry and he disowned her basically. And the mom, by the way, was she was like telling her children, obviously the kids don't want to stay in this, I think it was a 16 by 16 feet room. They don't want to stay there, obviously, because it's so cramped for four people. And the mom's like, oh, maybe it's only a day or two. And then after they talked with the grandmother, she's like, give me a week. So now I'm getting scared because, oh yeah, and there's this one other thing that the mother said. So when they were dropped off by the train, like, and then they have to walk to the house, this is something that she said that is so bad. Okay, so she was carrying the luggage. The older kids were carrying the twins, the two younger siblings, and the mother was like, "Why don't you put them down, okay, and make them walk?" And then she said, "Lord knows they walk now while they still can." And now I'm thinking she knew about this. The grandma is cuckoo. She is one of those people who say, oh, God is watching everything what you're doing. But then here she is doing everything that God doesn't want her to do. She gives instructions to the four siblings, and these are instructions that they should follow while they stay in her house. So there are about 20 rules, but one of them, just to show you how cuckoo she is, you're not allowed to look at the opposite sex unless absolutely necessary. And there's also an instruction about reading the Bible every day. And if you don't know how to read, like stare at the Bible until you absorb its purity. So I'm giving this 2 stars. Out of the elements here is really not just my cup of tea. It brought out an emotion from me. And that's why I'm giving it this mercy rating of 2 stars. What I didn't like about it is that it dragged a lot. It was like I was the one in the attic with them, and I was getting bored of reading the things that they're doing in the attic. What I hate in books, okay, one of the pet peeves I have in books are stupid characters. I cannot handle stupid characters. I need the conflict to be outside conflicts and not conflicts because the character is not thinking. Here's an example, okay? They did something bad, okay, and they're being punished, and the punishment is that they will not be having any food unless the girl gets her head shaved off. So the grandma was gonna cut her hair, but she was not allowing her. And then the grandma said, okay, let's make this more difficult for you then. Your brother has to cut your hair, or you have to cut your hair, or whatever. And if you don't cut your hair, there will be no food. Literally, no food. And then at first they were like, so I don't think they're going to do that because they're not going to let us starve to death, right? And eventually the grandma did stop going up. And luckily they had extra milk and some cheese and crackers. And they were living off of that. And all because she doesn't want to cut her hair. Okay, you're criticizing your mom for choosing her beautiful clothes, her jewelry, the riches that she's about to get. You're criticizing her because she's so vain and enjoying her life. She can't even like consider the situation that you and your siblings are in, right? And you hate her for it. But then here you are, your younger siblings are starving, and you don't even want to cut your hair. Just for that reason that actually she was saying, she also said something like, I'd rather she whip me on my back, like because the skin will heal, but hair will take forever to grow. Like, what kind of logic is that? Is it just me? Because for me, like, I don't really, I'm not afraid to cut my hair short. Like, I've done it before, and I'm fine with it. And especially with the circumstances that they're in, they know that this grandma's not kidding around. Why? Okay, eventually she did cut her hair, but only the front, and then she's wearing like a turban of some sort to hide that she didn't really cut the back. I think that was the time when I almost DNF'd this book. It was when it got so bad, they were really hungry, that Christopher had to slice his wrist, and then his blood was pouring out, and he made the twins drink that. That's disgusting, first of all. That is disgusting. I don't know. Kathy is such an idiot. Okay, Chris is also an idiot, but in another part of this book. Okay, so basically, the incest in this book is not the kind of incest like Cersei and Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones. Not like that. It's more of them growing up, and then they don't see other people, and especially Chris, he has these urges that he's trying to repress. But I think because the grandma keeps on saying like, "Oh, you guys are doing something evil and sinful up here. I know it." It kind of pushed him to do these things or even have these thoughts, I'm thinking. But when it actually happened, it's like he raped her basically. And Kathy was saying like, "Oh, it's not really rape because I didn't even stop you, but come on." The whole scene was like, nobody can have you. I'm the only one who can have you, and I'm gonna take you now, tonight. And then he just like tackled her to the mattress. Eventually, they had a chance to escape, but they kept on pushing it back because they're trying to steal money so that when they get out, they have money to live. And I'm like, why couldn't you just escape and then tell the police and then that's it? Why do you need to have money? Why are you trying to make sure that you can handle this on your own? You're children, okay? And I think maybe because they were stuck in the attic for so long and they feel like they're not going to have that, they're not going to have someone to care for them. They feel like they have to do it on their own eventually. It's very odd and very sad. The mother is so manipulative here. She always disappears, and then when she comes back, she's gonna be like, "Oh, I have a bunch of gifts for you guys," and then she acts as if nothing has happened. And eventually, the twins start not recognizing her anymore as their mom, or they are very afraid of her. She's basically a stranger to them. Yes. Okay, and here's the reason why I am not giving this a 1 star. Okay, something happened towards the end that made me feel like, okay, a 2 star for you, Miss VC Andrews. Okay, it's a spoiler, so you can click off the video now if you don't want to know anything. Okay, so eventually we find out that the kids are being poisoned slowly with the donuts that are being sent up to them, their breakfast and everything. It has arsenic in the powdered sugar, so they're not really tasting the bitterness. And eventually, like one of the twins, Corey, my favorite sibling, he was the one who really loves the donuts, and at times it's just the only thing that he eats. So he gets like really, really sick. And what makes me really so annoyed and so disgusted with the mother is that she plotted this all. She was the one who was poisoning her children. And you know what? I'm not surprised because like right from the beginning we there are clues that she is such a vain woman. And like I just didn't think that it would come to that point where she's going to kill her children to get what she wants. Okay, so eventually she knows that the kids are going to be hidden forever. And I don't know what happened. Maybe there was a change or she really was planning to get them out eventually because that's the deal, right? Like when her dad dies, they're going to get out and they're going to be happy and be rich. But then when her father died, when he got her written into the will, there was a condition. And that is if even at the time when he's dead, when it is proven that his daughter has had children with her first marriage, aka the one with the half uncle, then all of the things that she's inheriting in the will be, negated. She's not going to get a single thing. And I think that that is why she decided to poison her children with these donuts. Anyway, so Corey dies. They eventually figure it out that it's the donuts. This is the sad part. Okay, this is the thing that really tugged at my heartstrings. So basically, we have already talked about the poisoning, right? So he dies, and then one of the children asks, oh, Chris asks, will we go to his funeral? So he is asking their mom. And the mom said, oh, darling, are you okay? The mom said, he's already been buried. I had a false name put on the tombstone. Like he has lived a very short life. His mother doesn't even care enough about him to even give him a proper burial. You know what I mean? And I'm not even sure if she even brought him to the hospital. I'm guessing she didn't. And she just waited for him to die. And maybe she was even happy that she already got rid of one. I mean, she was crying at the time, but seriously? For the money? Like I just cannot. They managed to escape. That's what's so annoying is they could have escaped a long, long time ago, but they kept on hoping that their mother is not the evil monster that they think she's becoming. And I don't know why. Why were they hesitating to believe that? It's not like they were really loved by their mother. Like what was so interesting is that when they were like trying to clean up the attic, making it more homey, the mother who has never done a single single chore in her entire life, she started cleaning up and I'm like, okay, oop, he's pooping. Are you pooping, darling? Oh my boy, he's pooping. All her life she has never cleaned up, and then suddenly she's scrubbing the attic floors. She is making them feel comfortable. And it's so funny how this grandfather who is almost always on the verge of dying, there's always this hope that he's about to take his last breath, but he's just perpetually coming back and coming back and coming back to life. So I think that's the point of this book, but even so, I did not like it. But you know, it's an experience. At least I know what this is all about. And I'm sure there are like explorations about to why the mother is like this, but you know what? I'm not interested. Corey died. And Corey is the only character that I really cared about. So this series is over. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.